Supervisor terminated me immediately after I secured a $487 million agreement, claiming I was expendable. They failed to recognize the client only acknowledged my identity on the contract. When everything fell apart, a rival firm hired me instantly, and my former employer witnessed the agreement leave with me. The conference room fell silent as Richard Gallagher, my direct supervisor at Titan Dynamics, slid the termination letter across the polished mahogany table. His smirk was unmistakable, the kind of expression that comes from someone who believes they've just won. Behind him stood Jennifer Kane, the CFO, her arms crossed and her face radiating satisfaction. To my left, Declan Malone, the company president, wouldn't even meet my eyes. I stared at the paper without touching it. My signature was still fresh on the Blackstone Technologies contract, the largest deal in Titan Dynamics' 40-year history, finalized less than 3 hours ago. The champagne they'd popped to celebrate was probably still cold in the executive lounge. Effective immediately, Richard repeated, tapping the letter with his gold pen. We're restructuring the sales division. Your services are no longer required. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, Manhattan stretched out below us, oblivious to the knife being buried in my back. I'd worked at Titan Dynamics for 9 years, climbing from junior account executive to senior vice president of enterprise sales. I'd brought in 63% of the company's revenue over the past 3 years, and now, minutes after delivering their biggest win, they were throwing me out like garbage. I see. My voice came out steady, though my hands had formed fists under the table. May I ask why? Jennifer stepped forward, her heels clicking against the tile. Callum, you're a talented salesman, but the board feels you've reached your ceiling here. We need fresh perspectives in leadership. Fresh perspectives. Translation. They wanted to steal my commission and take credit for my work without having to pay me. The Blackstone deal will be managed by Richard going forward, Declan interrupted, finally looking at me. His expression held no guilt, just cold calculation. He'll serve as the primary relationship manager. Something hot and dangerous coiled in my chest. Richard had done nothing on this deal. Absolutely nothing. For 8 months, I'd courted Marcus Fitzgerald, Blackstone's CEO, attending his charity galas, joining his golf outings, learning about his daughter's college search so I could offer advice. I'd restructured our entire proposal 3 times to meet his specific requirements. I'd flown to Seattle 6 times on my own dime when the company refused to approve the travel budget, and Richard had shown up to exactly 1 meeting, arriving late and leaving early. The contract specifies me as the account executive, I said quietly. Richard's smirk widened. Contracts can be amended. Marcus will understand we're making internal changes. They had no idea. None of them had any idea what they'd just done. I negotiated a non-transferable relationship clause, I continued, my voice taking on an edge. Section 12, paragraph 4. The agreement is void if I'm not the primary point of contact. The smirk faltered. Jennifer's eyes narrowed. Declan leaned forward. That's not standard, Jennifer said sharply. Marcus insisted on it. He doesn't trust corporate reshuffling. He wanted a guarantee that the person who made the promises would be the person who delivered. Richard's face had gone pale. You're bluffing. I pulled out my phone and opened my email, turning the screen toward them. The message from Marcus's legal team was clear. As discussed, we've included the relationship continuity clause to protect both parties. This ensures Callum Brennan remains the primary contact for the duration of the agreement. The silence that followed was delicious. Jennifer snatched the phone, her perfectly manicured nails clicking against the screen as she read. Her expression shifted from confidence to concern to barely controlled rage in the space of 15 seconds. This is highly irregular, she said, her voice tight. It's what the client wanted, I replied, taking my phone back. I was protecting Titan's interests. Marcus has a history of canceling deals when personnel change. Declan stood abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor. Then you'll stay on as a contractor. Reduced salary, of course, given the circumstances. You can manage the account remotely. They wanted me gone, but needed me to keep the deal alive. The audacity was breathtaking. No.